What's up YouTube, Darryl here from Zephyr Wargames, bringing you, as promised, a zombie horde deck profile. Now this is using basically 3 of the zombie horde structure decks, but with this build I've actually only used 2. I've had to so basically if you wanted to build this yourself, the only card you really need at 3 is maybe Unizombie at 3, definitely Mizuki at 3, and Shiranui Solitaire at 3. So they're common, so if you don't want to buy 3 just to get those in play sets, obviously you can pick them up cheaper. However, to continue the theme, this is just with using a maximum of 3 of the structure decks. So, without further ado, I'm going to take you through this profile and show you exactly what we've got. Now, this is kind of what the profiles will look like, give or take, during the structure deck plays. And the kind of combos will all be similar, because the only extra deck monster you have is this Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon, which is, of course, very, very powerful. But this deck has been designed that if you were just to be faced up against zombies, or it is designed just to turbo out Zombie World to push the plays further forward. So, without further ado, let's get started and take you through this build of zombies, basically. So we've got, of course, your triple Mizuki. You know, no zombie deck is complete without at least 3 of the, at least 2 of these guys, but you definitely want to be playing 3 where you can. In this build, triple Unizombie is less relevant in this build for the fact of pushing for synchro plays, like dumping the Mizuki and pushing synchro plays that way. It's more designed to get your other cards you want to the graveyard, stuff like your Glow Up Bloom and your Necro World Banshee, because you want to be getting your field spell on play, getting Zombie World in action, and then reviving, searching, special summoning stuff that way. Next, of course, we've got triple Shiranui Solitaire. This, of course, is technically a 1 card like level 8 synchro in the standard fashion, because what you do is you normal summon Solitaire, tribute the Solitaire off for your Unizombie, use Unizombie's effect to get a Mizuki from your hand or deck to the graveyard, banish that, bring back the Solitaire, and then sync up you go. Ideally in this play, this would be more of a turn 2 in this deck, because you can only get up to a level 7, so you'd want to make sure that you increase the level of something other than Unizombie to do this combo and get into this. Still a 1 card into this guy if you have another monster on board that you can bump a level up. So of course that could be your opponent's field as well. Then of course we've got 2 Zombie Master. You know, once per turn you send 1 monster from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 level 4 or lower zombie type monster from either player's graveyard. So with Zombie World in play, every card on the field or in graveyard are zombie types, and this then lets you get rid of your Glow Up Bloom from hand. We've then got 2 Gozuki to marry with his brother Mizuki, and that of course helps push your graveyard plays further forward. We've then got Tatsunecro, again really really cool card, but in this build, because you are restricted to only the Red Eyes, 2 is more than enough. Because this has to be normal summoned, if it would be used as a synchro material, 1 monster in your hand can be used as the other material. So of course what you could do is you normal summon your Tatsunecro, use its effect to sync with the Mizuki, that gives you straight into the Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon, and then of course you've got Mizuki that could bring back Necro if you wanted to, and of course you could then tune up into a level 10, which I believe the Shiranui level 10 can be made that way. I can't remember if it's 1 or if it requires 2 monsters or 3 monsters to make, but if so you do have a nice easy ramp up there. Again, 2 Glow Up Bloom, you don't really want it in your hand because you can get rid of it via your Unizombie more often than not. And of course, it's Foolish Burial and stuff like that. But ideally, what you want is you want this being sent to the graveyard to add the level 5, which will be your power plays in this deck, which is stuff like your Red Eye Zombie Dragon, your Kashia, and your Doom King Bardaroach. But then you obviously want to make sure that your field spell is in place so you can special summon it out of your hand, and then straight away you've got a beast monster on board. I've got 2 Paladin of the Cursed Dragon. I really like this card. You target 1 level 4 or lower zombie monster in your opponent's graveyard that was destroyed by battle and special summon it. It's a bit situational, but of course it is an additional zombie master in a sense, especially with Zombie World in play. 2 Marionette Mite. I really like this card. It's a shame it's an insect, but it's a mind control monster effect. Like, rather than if you're on the anti-spell or anything like that, especially in the matchups, if you're playing these decks against each other at the weekend, this is actually gets past anti-spell and you just go, cool, discard this card, and then you target 1 fiend or zombie type monster your opponent controls, take control of it until the end phase. So again, with Zombie World in play, everything's going to be zombie. I think this can be a very, very powerful and useful card. We've then got double Necro World Banshee, again, another way of getting Unizombie. So for example, if you have Glow Up Bloom in your hand or in your deck, however you wish to do it, and your uni zombie on board, you normal summon your uni zombie, use the effect there, send either one of these two from the deck to the graveyard, and then use the effect to get your zombie world in play. Then use the second effect to get Gloom from your hand to the graveyard, or deck to graveyard. Obviously make sure you do Banshee first, and then of course Gloom would then allow you to special summon one of your big guys, which could possibly be the Red Eyes Zombie Dragon. So moving on, we do play 2 Red Eyes Zombie Dragon. I personally feel this is the better beat monster. It's easier to get out because you tribute summon this card in attack position by tributing one zombie monster. When this card destroys a zombie monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, special summon that zombie monster. So, for example, if we have this guy on board, the Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon, when another zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you special summon one zombie monster from either graveyard. So the best thing about this is, this will trigger off. It doesn't have to be your zombie monster, it just says when another zombie monster is destroyed by battle, you special summon one zombie monster from either graveyard to your field. So, for example, if you were to attack with this one, destroy one of your opponent's monsters under Zombie World, and so happen to have the ability to bring this guy out, you bring him out, he will then attack, destroy a zombie monster by battle, and then revive it again. So you've got a lot of play that way, and you've got 2 big level 7s on board to keep pushing through for power plays, and the loop can kind of continue to keep reviving, especially in the matchup mirror this weekend. One cash out, we just needed another power play monster that was relevant and able to do this. So as it can't be normal summon a set, must be special summoned from the hand by controlling 2 or more zombie monsters. If this card is special summoned, shuffle as many other monsters on the field as possible into the deck. And if you do, this card's attack becomes 1,000 times the number of face-up monsters shuffled into the deck this way, whose original type was zombie. Now obviously in the mirror matchups this weekend, there's going to be a load of that, so these can become pretty beefy. But the best thing on top of that is it does non-target, shuffle and clear your opponent's board as well as yours. But then if you've got Mizukis in graveyard, you just keep pushing those out, fill your board out, and you've probably got an OTK ready to go. And then we've got the 1 Doom King Bardock. In this build, it's harder to get out in that sense, especially with its effect being during the standby phase, so you have to make sure your field spell's in play, and it can be quite cloggy in hand, and you do want it in graveyard to play around with it. I kind of went with the choice with Red Eyes Zombie Dragon over the Doom King Barbaroach as a 2-of, just because the Zombie Dragon has that revive ability and can really cause your opponent a lot of issues. So that's it for the monsters. As you can see, a good chunk of monsters on that one. Moving on to the spells, of course, you've got triple Zombie World. This is what the deck resolves around. You do need to play 3 of this. Double Book of Life. The issue with this is it's not quick play, so 9 times out of 10 in the mirror matchup, you're not going to be able to banish their Mizukis, which is ideally what you want to be getting rid of. But then, of course, you'll get rid of any of their other ones that they could be bringing back off of the Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon or the Red Eyes Zombie Dragon. 2 Burial from a different dimension. This can help you loop your Mizukis. Going through 3 Mizukis during your first turn, bringing them back and then pushing your board further forward. Again, is more relevant in like the actual full build when you've got stuff like Omegas you can use and abuse, your Spectral Swords, and more than just the Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon. But it's still very, very important and powerful to do this because you could end up pushing your plays further forward. Now, I've got 1 of each of these. 1 Zombie Power Struggle and 1 Zombie Necrorize. This is more specific because you do have to have the level 5 or higher zombie monster on the field and you take control of it. But then this one also helps you get your lower monsters, especially in this play or in this deck, because your big beast monsters, you've only got about 4 of them plus the Red Eye Zombie Dragon, Necro Dragon, sorry. You do need to make sure that stuff like your Mizuki can get over certain matchups, especially at this weekend when the mirror match. So this one could be very, very important to flip and play, especially doing damage count. Either make your opponent lose a K or you gain a K, whichever you need to beat over your opponent. So that might be a little bit optional to put that to should you wish. And then of course we've got the 1 Monster Gate. All of your big monsters can be normal summoned or set, except of course your Kasha. So using that Monster Gate could actually be a nice easy way of ramping up your, for example, your Mizuki into a Barbaroach or into a Red Eye Zombie Dragon. And then of course you've got your Mizuki in graveyard that can help recycle whatever you've milled. Of course, Foolish Burial, and then 2 Metaverse, because like I said, the field spell is so important. If your opponent does pop this by anyhow in the mirror matchup or just in general, activating this during the end phase, especially if you've got a Barbaroach in your graveyard, can then trigger Barbaroach during your standby phase, and straight away you've got a nice beefy boss monster on board. Then onto the extra deck, quite straightforward on this one. If you've got 3, you play with a 3. If you've only got 2, you play with a 2. Obviously, we do use 3 of the structure decks. You would play 3 of these guys, but you use your Red Eye Zombie Dragon. The issue with this is because there's no link monsters or anything like that, you can't get rid of them to put multiples on board, but it's still a very, very powerful card, and it is a zombie. So what you can do is, if you've got a Mizuki engraved, this gets destroyed, use Mizuki's effect, bring this back, and it still gains 100 attack for each zombie monster on the field and in the graveyards. So with Zombie World, this guy can become an absolute beast. That is it for the structure deck profile. I will be doing a full powered version of this. I'll probably focus more around zombies, because of course you've got Shiranui zombies, you've got Vendread zombies, and then of course you've got stuff like Lightsworn zombies and anything like that. I will try and keep it as pure as I possibly can, using the majority of this. The main things that will probably change with this is the extra deck will be bumped up with stuff like your Omegas, your Shiranui Spectral Swords, and stuff like that, as well as probably your other Shiranui main deck monsters. And in that place, you'd probably take away, cut down the Paladins. Glider Booms are still very, very good in my opinion. So is the Titsu Necro, because getting into your level 7s is very, very powerful. Depending on what level 7 extra deck monsters you put in here, will depend on what, how reliant you are on a Tetsu Necro, and kind of go from there. Anyway, I hope this has helped. I hope this has given an idea for your weekend play with the deck. Like I said, your one-card combos that you'll be looking at will probably be your Uni Zombies, your Spectral Swords if you play them right, and then your Tatsu Necro is going to be your main one-card into your Red Eyes Zombie Necro Dragon. So for now, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time guys, as always, happy dueling. What's up YouTube, thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button, and of course don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round, so don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always guys, happy dueling.